Okay, so we're looking at the practice paper from the first year textbook, and we are on question 8. Okay, so we've got trig identity to prove here, and I've got two terms to the power of 4. So I've got two options here. If you can spot, so the quickest way, but the way that might be a little bit trickier to spot, is if you spot that you can actually factorize cos to the power of 4x minus sine to the power of 4 of x to that. Okay, so basically we've got the difference of two squares there, but our square term is actually a power of 4 term. Okay, so if you can see where I've got that from, then you can then say, well, we know that cos squared plus sine squared is 1. So that whole second set of brackets is just 1. So that becomes 1 plus cos squared minus sine squared. And then 1 minus sine squared is cos squared, and you're there. Okay, so I'm just rattling through that one quite quickly because I suspect that that might be something that you wouldn't necessarily spot to do. Okay, but if you did, that's awesome, and you can finish it off that way. Okay, but the other thing you can do is you can say, well, cos to the power of 4 is cos squared squared, and sine to the power of 4 is sine squared squared. Okay, so you do need to spot that cos to the power of 4 is cos squared squared. You definitely need to use that somehow. Okay, so now actually I want cos in my final answer. So I'm actually going to leave that first set of brackets. I might not need to do anything with that. And I'm going to rewrite the second set of brackets as 1 minus cos squared x and then squared. So if I square out those second set of brackets, so 1 minus cos squared x all squared is 1 minus cos squared x times 1 minus cos squared x. So if I multiply those brackets out, and I'll just be careful of that minus, I'm going to get 1 minus 2 cos squared x, and then minus cos squared x times minus cos squared x would be cos to the power of 4x. So I've just basically expanded out those second pair of brackets. Okay, and actually what I've now realised is I didn't really need to worry about the cos to the power of 4. So I'm going to rewrite that back as it was. And again, I want to be really careful with this minus here. So if I lose those second set of brackets, it's going to be minus 1 plus 2 cos squared x minus cos to the power of 4x. So what can now happen is I've got cos to the power of 4x minus cos to the power of 4x. I've got 1 minus 1. So I'm there. I can just say, so that all equals 2 cos squared x. And that's what I was trying to get to. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. The other way I mentioned, I think, is how they've got here. Yeah, so that's the other way. So that involved spotting that was the difference of two squares, so you can factorize that to those brackets there. Okay, and then you can say that equals 1, and then you can say 1 minus sine squared is cos squared. Okay, so either of those methods would be absolutely fine.